All right, so today we are going deep, really deep.
Deep dive.
Yeah, a deep dive into, well, everything. Seems like the world's been pretty eventful lately.
Always is, isn't it?
I guess so, yeah, but especially lately.
Yeah.
So we've got new tariffs from the U.S.
Oh, yeah?
And we've got China. Of course, they're not just going to sit there and take it.
No.
And then TikTok.
Oh, the TikTok saga continues.
It really does, yeah. And this one's a little out of left field, but there's been a pretty significant political development in France.
Definitely.
So we're going to try to connect all these seemingly separate things and try to understand what's really going on here.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting to try to see how these things might be related.
Absolutely. So let's start with these U.S. tariffs. What happened there?
Well, President Trump, he announced new tariffs on, well, pretty much everything.
On everything.
Yeah, a 10% tariff on imports.
Yeah.
With the goal of trying to
boost American manufacturing.
Exactly.
Okay, and well, what was the market reaction to that?
Oh, well, the market did not like it.
Did not like it.
The U.S. stock market saw its biggest single-day drop since 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, some really major companies, the Apples, the Nikes, the Targets.
Yeah, those big ones.
Yeah, they lost a lot of value, like over 9% reportedly.
9% in one day.
That's right.
That's pretty significant.
It is, and it just shows, how sensitive the market is to any talk of trade wars or disruption to, global supply chains.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Like if these companies are relying on getting things from overseas, and all of a sudden those things are 10% more expensive.
Exactly.
That's going to cut into their bottom line.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, so I mean, I guess it wasn't just the U.S. market that wasn't happy about this, right?
Oh no, this really got a reaction internationally.
What did other countries say?
Well, I mean, China and the EU, they both pretty quickly came out and said they were going to retaliate.
Okay, what did that retaliation look like, especially from China? I mean, they're kind of the big player in all this.
Yeah, they're definitely the one to watch. I mean, their response was, well, it's pretty big. They slapped a 34% tariff on all U.S. goods coming into China.
34%, wow, that's
yeah.
I mean, that's even more than what the U.S. put on.
Oh yeah.
And then on top of that, I mean, they're tightening controls on rare earth minerals.
Right. These are essential for all sorts of technology, right? You're talking about smartphones, electric vehicles. A lot of important stuff uses these minerals. And China, well, they control a lot of the global supply.
So this is a big deal.
It is. And I mean, there's also the WTO complaint. China filed a complaint with the World Trade Organization.
Yeah, that was in the sources too.
Right. And there's also been talk of trade bans, on specific U.S. firms and products.
So it sounds like, I mean, this isn't just, a little bit of back and forth. This is a pretty serious escalation.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, it doesn't really seem like there's a lot of, diplomatic space for an easy solution here.
No, it seems like things are heating up.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about TikTok, because this is still going on, right?
Oh, absolutely. The saga continues.
Another extension, right?
Yep. 75 more days for ByteDance to potentially sell TikTok.
Sell it off, yeah. And who are the potential buyers here?
Well, we've heard some interesting names. Amazon, Oracle, even MrBeast.
MrBeast, the YouTuber.
Yeah, he's throwing his hat in the ring apparently.
I mean, that's kind of wild.
It is, but it also shows how valuable and appealing a platform like TikTok is, right?
Yeah, I guess so. And here's where it gets really interesting, because there's been some talk from the U.S. that a TikTok deal could be linked to these tariffs on China. Yeah, it's almost like they're using it as a bargaining chip. Like, hey, if you play ball with us on this TikTok thing, maybe we'll ease up on some of these tariffs.
That's really fascinating. It really shows how, these seemingly separate issues can be, well, they can be used as leverage in international strategy. The future of a social media app tied to broader trade relationships. It's pretty wild.
It's pretty amazing. All right, well, let's go across the Atlantic now to France, because there's been a pretty big development there. Marine Le Pen, she's been banned from holding office.
Yeah, 5 years. She can't hold any public office for 5 years because of an embezzlement conviction.
And I mean, she's a pretty big player in French politics, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this ruling, it really shakes up the French political landscape. I mean, she was She was a serious contender for the 2027 presidential election, and now, well, who knows?
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see how that played out.
It would, and I mean, her party's not happy about this. They're calling it politically motivated, and they're planning to appeal.
Of course.
So it's not over yet, but it's definitely a major shift in French politics.
Yeah, and it just goes to show how, these legal decisions can have a real impact on the future of a country. Like, who knows what France is going to look like in a few years.
Yeah.
So, okay, we've got tariffs, we've got TikTok, we've got France, and this is all happening, in the span of, what, a week?
That's a lot.
It's a lot. So how do we make sense of all this?
Well, I think the key is to think about how these events might be connected, right? They might seem totally separate, trade wars, social media, European politics.
They're really different worlds.
But what if they're not? What if there are, these deeper, less obvious connections? What if there are underlying forces at play that are shaping all these global shifts in economics, in technology, in politics? I mean, it's something to think about.
It is. It really is. And that's our deep dive for today. And that's our question for you listening out there. How are these things connected? What's the big picture here? Thanks for diving in with us.
Yeah, thanks for listening.